Just completed my 4th sailing with Virgin Voyages and wanted to pull together 9 pro tips and mistakes to avoid to make sure that you enjoy your next Virgin Voyages cruise. I was walking around taking notes all over the place on things that I was doing because I knew that it was better than I had done in the past. It was my pro tips that I was doing, but I was subconsciously aware of what I was doing, knew that it was a better way, and I was taking notes for you all so that you can act like a pro on your very first Virgin Voyages sailing. Hey everybody, it's Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, where I go on a weekend cruise just about every weekend. And I just got back from a 4-night cruise on Virgin Voyages and wanted to share my 9 pro tips and mistakes to avoid while on Virgin Voyages. The first one, make sure that you are setting your calendar for 45 days before you sail to get into the app, the Virgin Voyages app ASAP, and book your dinner reservations. I cannot stress to you the importance of having dinner reservations booked for your Virgin Voyages sailing. They do fill up, they do sell out, and it is a pain to try to get into an already full restaurant. So do they release more? Yes, keep checking it. If you don't get it initially, keep checking it all the way up to when you board and then start talking to the maitre d's. If you can book it with the show. So one thing that you're also gonna find is you might just be taking whatever time slot you can for dinner, but if you wanna make sure that you're seeing certain shows, make sure you're coordinating those dinner reservations with that showtime. But your best bet is gonna be on the day, 45 days out, when the reservations open. The second thing you're going to do is buy the Sailor Loot. This one I am a huge fan. They do not have drink packages on Virgin Voyages. So if you drink alcoholic beverages, buy the Sailor Loot, or the bar tab, I should say, before you get to the cruise. This is going to be $300 you'll put towards a bar tab, and they're going to give you $50 on top of that. This way you're not nickel and diming yourself. The drinks don't really even run that much. They run like $12, if you will, and gratuity is already included. There's not an additional 18% on top of that amount of money. Get the bar tab. You will thank yourself later for not nickel and diming yourself, and you can make some friends and buy some other drinks if you wind up not going through it. If you don't want to buy the bar tab and you don't want to spend the $300, I'll say the third thing here is make sure you're booking your Virgin Voyages cruise while on Virgin Voyages. So if you were already there, if you were on your Virgin Voyages sailing, you got one coming up, book another Virgin Voyages sailing. They're giving away amazing onboard credit when you book on board. And this can be just as much as that bar tab of $300. So you don't want to miss out on those kind of deals. Though if you're not on the ship and this is going to be your first one, I'm going to put my affiliate link down to Virgin Voyages below. If you want to book through that and you want to book directly with Virgin Voyages, it would be greatly appreciated. I always recommend using a travel agent, but if you want to book direct with Virgin, it's going to be in the link down below. Pool deck. Now their pool deck is not ideal. You can check out this video to see why I didn't really like it, but the takeaways are going to be, there's not a lot of shade, so make sure you're showing up early, especially if you want to be by the pool and get one of the couches around the pool. You're going to have to be there early in order to secure that seat. Make sure you go early. The second thing you want to do is put towels over everything that you were sitting on because it is a purple plastic. Unless you're in one of the normal chairs, it's gonna get really, really hot. You're also gonna wanna make sure you are walking around with shoes the entire time in the pool deck because the pool deck also gets extremely hot and you don't wanna burn your feet. The fifth thing you're gonna wanna make sure that you're doing and not missing, and I think a lot of people overlook this, the brunch on Virgin Voyages is fantastic. Go to brunch while you are on Virgin Voyages. It will impress you. For a casual brunch experience, you can go over to Razzle Dazzle. Their bacon there is fantastic. I can't recommend it enough. And then if you want a little bit more of an elevated experience, you can go to the Wake for brunch. But do not miss brunch on a Virgin Voyages sailing. The sixth thing is recognize that this ship is not like any other cruise ship you've been on before. The layout is gonna be different. Walk around and explore the ship as soon as you get on it to learn the layout. They're gonna give you a little pamphlet in your room. You're also gonna be able to see the ship layout from the app, but they don't have a lot of direction anywhere else. They'll list on a sign everything that's on the different floor, but it's not gonna tell you if it's this way, if it's that way. It just says it's somewhere on this deck. So as soon as you get on, it is a smaller ship. Make sure you're walking around, getting lost, checking it all out so that you can find things easier later on and go and get acclimated to the layout of Virgin Voyages cruise ships. The seventh thing is, we talked about this with the food earlier, is try to coordinate with your shows. Shows oftentimes need reservations as well, and they too will sell out. The good news here, so you're not able to get a reservation, it's sold out. If you show up 20 minutes before the start of that reservation, they're gonna have a standby line that you can join. And I have never not made it into a show, and I've not made a reservation for a lot of these things, but showing up 20 minutes early seems to be the right amount for you to still make it into the show. Go and line up, get there 20 minutes early, and you should be able to make it in without a problem. Let's talk clothing. So the 8th thing you're going to make sure that you are doing, especially for a Virgin Voyages sailing, as it is much different than the others, bringing specific clothing to enjoy yourself. The first thing, and you might already know this, is the Scarlet Night. You want to make sure you are bringing a red outfit. I wore a red polo, but there are people in all sorts of red attire, whether it's pants and a top only, or what have you. People are really decking out for Scarlet Night. I would say this is also probably their formal night. So if you want to really dress up and go over the top with your red outfit, that is going to be the night that you're going to want to do it. They're also going to have a 70s night. So make sure that you're coming in some 70s attire. This is something I don't actually own, but I wish that I had it on my last sailing. Bring some 70s attires. There's a couple of wigs going around as well. Some people brought their own shoes. Like, there was a lot of stuff that was going on the last cruise. And then the third thing you're going to do is bring pajamas. Though I'll say, don't go really sexy with your pajamas, only because most people don't seem to be doing that. I think that that's been toned down a little bit. And there was one lady that did wear a very sexy outfit, but she hugged up against her husband all night because I think she was a little bit self-conscious, because everybody else was in old people pajamas, like the large button down top with the long pants. That's a lot of what you see. You see robes and, flannel, those kind of things, but you're not really going to see a lot of that sexy lingerie. Go ahead and you can wear it if you want to. If you've got pajamas that are a little bit more revealing, Virgin is certainly a place you can do that, but you're not going to see as much as you may be thinking you're going to see. And the 9th and final thing here is when you're at the restaurant, specifically Razzle Dazzle and in the food hall, make sure you're asking about secret or special options. Now in Razzle Dazzle, they're gonna have a secret menu. Sometimes they've just proactively told me about this, and like this cruise, I had to ask for, hey, what's on the secret menu? Just to see what it was. So Razzle Dazzle, check out the secret menu. And then when you're in the food hall, or in the galley, I should say, every night the burger bar is gonna have a special burger that they're gonna feature. This is not going to be in the app. So they're gonna give you QR codes where you can log in and see what the menu is for the evening. They don't update it for the special. You have to ask the server or the attendant what that's gonna be and then order it directly with them. I found that there are actually some really good burgers that they're putting up on the specialty side that I want, and so I try to order that when I can. All right, everybody, that is my down and dirty 9 pro tips and mistakes to avoid on your next Virgin Voyages sailing. This is Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser. I'm gonna see you on a weekend cruise soon.